Yeah, good afternoon. I am Professor Anuradha Jain, Professor of Economics at Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies. So today I will be discussing with you commercial banks, and commercial bank in macroeconomics is a very important concept. And also for day to day life, we all know that we are all connected with banks. We visit banks, we have opened our account with the banks, and how banks play a very important role in the economic growth of any economy. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about what is commercial bank, what are the functions of commercial bank, and what are the different primary and secondary functions of commercial bank. Commercial banks play a very vital role in economic development of a nation. They are the most important source of institutional credit in the money market, as they provide short-term loans and advances to its customers. They perform a variety of functions and are the main source of credit, which is the main input for trade and business activity. Credit created by commercial banks is a major component of money supply in the modern economy. And modern economies depends on the banking sector for production, exchange, distribution, and so on. So the Banking Companies Act of India defines a bank as a bank is a financial institution which accepts money from the public for the purpose of lending or investment, repayable on demand or otherwise, withdrawable by checks, drafts or order or otherwise. Commercial banks are the institutions that make short-term loans to business and in the process create money. This is the definition given by Culbertson. Now, if we talk about functions of commercial bank, then commercial banks have to perform a variety of functions which are common to both developed and developing countries, and these are known as general banking functions of commercial banks. The modern banks perform a variety of functions, and these can be broadly divided into two categories, that is primary function and secondary function. Now, if we talk about primary functions, then mainly we talk about like acceptance of deposit, advancement of loans, creation of credit, clearing of checks, financing foreign trade, and remittance of funds. Now, one by one, if we discuss all these functions, and first if we will talk about acceptance of deposit. The banking operations depend upon the deposits. They are able to mobilize funds from public. And mobilization of funds is a very important function of a commercial bank. Deposits with the bank are preferred by the public too, because it offers not only a safety to their cash balances but also yields a rate of interest on what otherwise would have been idle balance. So deposits are of three kinds. First is fixed deposits, another can be the current deposit, and another is the saving account. So that means that we can open different types of accounts with the bank, like current account we can open saving account. Even apart from this, there is recurring account which any layman, any general person can open with the banks, and we can also have fixed deposits with the bank. Now, fixed deposits refer to the amount deposited by any individual for a fixed period of time. It is generally 1 year or more, but nowadays the banks accept deposits even for less than 1 year, starting from 90 days. The deposits are repayable after the specified period, hence they are also referred to as time liabilities or term deposits with the bank. The rate of interest given on this account, that is fixed deposit, is higher than or on any other account as it is with the bank for a stipulated period of time. The longer the period of deposit, the higher will be the rate of interest. Now, though fixed deposits are not supposed to be withdrawn earlier or before the stipulated time, banks do permit such a facility in case of some emergency or any urgency by deducting a certain amount of the rate of interest which is to be paid by the banks. Now, fixed deposit holders can obtain loan from the banks against the security of this fixed deposit receipts also, because whenever we do any fixed deposits with the bank, we get one receipt, and against that receipt, that is FDR or fixed deposits receipts, anybody can take a short-term loan against that FDR. Fixed deposit receipts are issued at the time of opening the account and have to be given at the time when deposit is to be claimed after the maturity of this fixed deposit. Another type of account that we can open with the bank is the current account. Current account deposits, allow money to be repayable on demand. Normally, banks do not grant any interest since the amount may be withdrawn any number of times, even during a single day. Now, generally, this account is maintained by businessmen. Usually, a certain minimum balance must be maintained in this account. Checks are issued to withdraw the amount, and the bank owes a debt to repay the amount on demand either to the depositor or to anyone on whose name the check is issued. And these deposits are known as demand deposits or checking deposits. And current account is normally opened by the businessman because they are free to withdraw any amount of money anytime without the prior notice given to the bank. Another type of account that we can open is the saving bank account. This account can be opened with a small initial amount of money, and there are some conditions on the operations of these deposit account, and restrictions can be placed on the maximum amount that can be withdrawn at a time or the number of times the amount can be withdrawn. Money can be withdrawn with a check or a withdrawal slip, as all of you know, and I am sure you all have visited banks and dealt with the bank with your saving account, and the process of withdrawing money from the bank. Like you can issue a self check, bearer check or withdrawal slip, and you can withdraw money anytime. And interest is given on the basis of monthly balances, and the rate of interest on saving account is low comparative to the fixed account. Current deposits and a large portion of saving deposits are known as demand liabilities, in contrast to the time liabilities which refer to only fixed deposits. So, rules have been relaxed in acceptance of deposits. Now, for instance, in India, there is a recurring deposit scheme where a fixed amount is deposited at a periodic intervals with a compound rate of interest. The accumulate amount is given only at the end of the fixed period, and it has proved attractive to small savers and the fixed income group. And under this recurring account, anybody can open this account with a nominal amount of like 500, 1000, 2000, 5000, depending upon the level of savings that we can make on the monthly basis. And it can be open for a fixed period of time ranging from 6 months to 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And we can deposit this amount of money every month with the bank, and bank give compound interest on this recurring deposits. And normally, fixed income group, they open this account and take the advantage of this scheme of the banks in terms of earning the rate of interest, and that make savings possible. Every month we can save this amount of money if we open this recurring account. Another function of commercial bank is advancing loans. Now, just as mobilization of deposits gives resources for banking operations, advancement of loans gives monetary gain to the bank through interest charged on the loans. Commercial banks are known to provide mostly short-term loans, and loan may be given in any 4 type of categories. One is ordinary loan. Ordinary loan means direct loans are given to individual or firms against some collateral security. and that may be like gold, silver, or any movable or immovable assets like land, building, bonds, life insurance policies, etc. And loan amount is credited to the account of the borrower, and high interest is charged on such loans, and very rarely people are given clean loans under this category. Another facility that bank gives is the overdraft facility. Overdraft facility refers to the facility given to the clients to draw over and above the balance in his account, and the interest is paid only the amount withdrawn by them, and such facility is given to reliable customers and credit-worthy businessmen. And this facility is given only on the current account holders, because businessmen that they need money any time, and they can withdraw through this facility more over and above the amount or the balance which they have in the account. And but this overdraft limit is decided in advance depending upon the credit worthiness of the businessman, depending upon the assets that they have, so that bank will not take any risk while giving this overdraft facility over and above the balance which they have in their account. Another type of loan is the cash credit, and this is granted usually to businessmen against the hypothecation of securities. And usually the loan amount depends upon the value of the hypothecated goods in the warehouse, and the banks open an account in the name of the borrower. He cannot withdraw the entire amount. He can draw only up to the limit sanctioned time to time. And this type of loan is popular in the Indian business world, as interest charged only on the amount that is withdrawn by the people. Then another type of account is discounting bills of exchange. So any person holding a bill of exchange can get it discounted by the commercial bank. That is, bank deduct a commission and pays the present price of the bill to the holder of this bills of exchange. The bank gets the full payment by presenting it to the other party at the time of maturity, and thus makes a profit. And therefore the holder of the bills gets money before the date of maturity, say like 3 months before the date of maturity, to help him transact his businesses. The bank also gets a liquid assets over which it makes a profit equal to the rate of discount. And against these bills of discount, if bank also need cash, they can also get it rediscounted from the central bank of country. And therefore this bills discounting of bills or bills of exchange also helps commercial bank to take further loan if required from the central bank. Then there are other subsidiary services provided by the banks. Subsidiary services provided by commercial banks include like variety of functions which can be classified into agency function and the general utility function. Now if we talk about agency function, then agency services refers to a number of functions performed by the bank on behalf of its customer. The bank charges a commission for such services. Like suppose first if we talk about transfer of funds, customer gets the facility to transfer funds from one place to other place by means of bank draft or check. In fact, banks provide a cheap medium of exchange and check which are more convenient than cash in the settlement of financial obligations, especially when there is a large amount. And transfer of funds nowadays, not even checks or draft is required, and transfer of funds can be made through RTGS, NEFT, or direct transfer of money from different apps, because nowadays the system has changed and more we work through net banking or different apps like Paytm, Phone Pay, Google Pay and all, and money can be transferred easily from one account to the other account from one place to the other place, and the things have become very easy. So this is one of the agency function, okay, that is performed by the banks. Now collection, another is collection of checks, bills, etc. The banks take responsibility to collect, checks, bills of exchange, promissory notes, etc. on behalf of their customer. The banks also collect dividend on shares and interest on debentures on specific instructions from the customer, and it is credited to their bank account. But all these instructions has to be made by the customer to banks in advance, and then only on behalf of you, on behalf of their customer, banks will perform these functions. Okay, otherwise without the instructions they will not perform these functions. The next is payment of bills or insurance premium, taxes, etc. If customers instruct, then banks undertake payment of insurance premium or other bills. So also the bank may help the customer in the payment of taxes. And even not only this, in fact, we can instruct our banks to make your telephone bill payments, your electricity payments, your IGL gas payments, and any type of payments which you are supposed to make okay, to the general different agencies. So on behalf of you, if you give instructions in advance to banks, then banks perform these functions for you, and they will make payment on behalf of you, and all this payment, because of these instructions, will be paid on time, and no late fees you will have to pay. You don't have to have hassles of making this payment, remembering these payments and all. And also nowadays you must have seen banks also keep informing in advance, okay, to the customer, like this payment is due, bank will be making payment on behalf of you on this particular day, so please check your balance, and you should have sufficient balance in your account. So all these services, all these functions are now performed by the banks. Another is like purchase and sale of securities. Bank buy and sell shares and other securities on behalf of the customers, okay, besides providing information on such matters. So not only like bank provide information to the customers regarding like different type of securities available in the market, or what are the benefits that the customers will get by purchasing or selling the securities. In fact, they also perform this function that on behalf of the customers they may purchase and sell securities, depending upon whether you want that function to be performed for you or not. It means that you have to give proper instructions to the bank, okay, in advance. Then acting as a trustee, the bank can be given the power of attorney to act on behalf of its customer in the matter of collection of checks, etc. The bank also acts as an agent for its customers to obtain passports, travel tickets, etc. Okay, so therefore you can see that banks have made our life very easy and simple, and there are many functions which are performed by the banks which we had never expected earlier, and we never thought that our life will become so easy and simple and convenient because of the presence of the bank. And nowadays even government is motivating people to open their account, because now we are more talking about digital money, digitalization, and the life has become more easy because of this. And banks branches are also increasing. Government is taking care of it, that everybody should have the account with the bank so that your transactions become easy. You should get all the facilities, and more branches they are opening, and within every 1 kilometer radius you will find bank branch available, ATM facilities available. All the facilities should be available to the general public. Even in schools, colleges also government is motivating that there should be one office of the bank should be established there, so that it will become convenient for even the students, those who are learning, those who are in the school or colleges. So therefore Now things are becoming more and more simple, and everybody is taking advantage of these functions of the commercial bank. More and more branches are opening, even if you can see the branches of the commercial bank in the remote areas, and any part of the country you go, you will find different branch, okay, of all the commercial banks. So another function of the commercial bank is the general utility services, that is secondary, functions of the commercial banks. So bankers have undertaken more and more general utility services beneficial to the customer. First is safe custody of valuables. All of you know that banks provide locker facility, okay, to the customers to keep their valuables like jewelry, documents, etc. And annual rental charges has to be paid when you open the locker with the bank. But there are many banks now. If you have a premium account with the bank, if you have, your CIBIL score good, and if you have that credit worthiness, then banks also provide these local facilities to their client without any charges. Okay, because I'll tell you that I received phone from the bank that you have your account with us, and since you are a premium customer, you have your salary account here, so we will provide you this facility and we will not charge even a single penny from you for these facilities. Okay, so this facilities like locker facilities is provided by the banks, where we can keep our valuables, and we will be safe, and safety issues will not be there if you have all your valuable items in the lockers, which facility provided by the bank. Another is providing information, that means all details about the credit worthiness and to their customers. So no person knows better about the credit worthiness of the customer than a bank. Hence they act as a referee on behalf of their customers. Okay, so they provide all the information, and that CIBIL score you can check anytime, and that CIBIL score also shows that your credit worthiness in the economy. Okay, so before giving loan, banks always check the CIBIL score of any individual. The next is collection of statistics. So banks collect a lot of information about trade, commerce, banking, etc., and it is often made available to the customers on request on periodically published bulletins, and this helps the customer in business policy. They also provide useful advice to the customers on financial matters. Okay, and you know that there are different bulletins, like RBI bulletins are there, commercial banks bulletins are there, and all useful information about the working of the economy, about the different conditions of the economy are provided there, and which helps in taking business decisions by the businessman. Another is underwriting of shares. So in India, banks have been the underwriters of major issues of shares and bonds floated by firm. In fact, the name of the underwriter, bank lends credibility to the issue, and a commission is charged for underwriting facility. Then issue of traveler's check. The bank issues traveler's check to its customers. Customer have to pay the amount and get traveler's check of equivalent value. They can be used as mode of payment instead of cash, and this helps the customer from carrying large amount of cash during traveling from one place to the other place. Another function is merchant banking services. Merchant banking services refers to the promotional assistance provided by the banks to new companies. They help in the planning and execution of projects by preparing feasibility reports. So they help to get government sanction, perform routine correspondence to get financial assistance from specialized agencies, and arrange for technical consultancy. Then another function which we can include is facilitating foreign trade and many other more functions. But to conclude, from being more mere dealers in money, banks have emerged as a vital link in modern commerce, and their major function is no doubt creation of credit. They are not only the purveyors of money but also creators of credit. So banking function in developing countries have been oriented towards the goal of economic development and welfare. So thus commercial bank in India have been expected to provide credit to the priority sector. Modern commercial banks play an important role as financial intermediaries to promote trade and commerce with a special welfare orientation. So therefore, in conclusion, we can just say that commercial banks now are the lifeline, okay, of any individual in the country. So thank you so much, and we will meet again with the next topic. Thank you.